All right, good morning, traders. Today is Wednesday, July 13th. It's about 8 a.m. Central Time. We're going to take a look at the market, see kind of what's going on, see what craziness is occurring this morning, and yeah, I'll give you my opinion and some technical analysis. Go ahead and jump on in. All right. So, first off, what the heck is happening? We're going to take a look at this, see why we had this huge positive movement up and then this huge drop down. We'll talk about all of this in just a second. But first, I kind of want to analyze the overall trends of this market here. Let's move out from this 1 hour and look at the 180-day 4 hour chart. And let's zoom on in here a little bit. So yesterday we identified that there was this double top. You can see this red line right here that kind of indicates, hey, this is probably where we're going to peak out. And of course, about 3 days ago, we did see that peak. Right now we're falling. We're falling very quickly. And we have identified where this base was in between these two peaks. So we can see about where this red line is about where the support could be. Now, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to hold once we actually test it, but it looks like it could be around this area. We could continue to fall and see lows of the NASDAQ of right here. It was, what was that, 11,068. So right around 11,000 for /NQs, which is the mini NASDAQ 100 index futures. So, what is going on? If we pull up some live news here, we're going to see a lot of stuff. We're going to see inflation numbers. That's the number one driver of all of this. So, CPI rises 1.3% in June, and the core rate is up by 0.7%, meaning that we're at an all-time high inflation over the last 41 years of 9.1%, which is a little bit alarming for investors. It's going to make everything a little bit more challenging, getting loans, mortgages, car payments, everything, which, as you know, NASDAQ is tech, and there's a lot of tech and, everything from phones to cars. So this is some pretty interesting movement, something that we might have expected. I should have called this out yesterday. I did let some friends know that, hey, the CPI index is going to be released tomorrow, and we might want to jump into the inverse of the NASDAQ. Now, that wasn't necessarily like solidified. We didn't know what these numbers were going to be exactly. We had some good estimates, but last month we also had some pretty bad CPI numbers, and we didn't have this sort of correction. But if we were following overall trends, it was in our best interest to go ahead and get into SQs just based off of this negative trend. And again, for those of you who are new, SQs is the inverse ETF of the NASDAQ, meaning that as the NASDAQ drops, SQs is going to increase. So we'll actually jump on into SQs here. You'll do see I do have a couple of open orders, actually one that's going to get filled, and then I'm going to slightly increase for the time being right up to 60.35. So yesterday we bought in. I bought in actually right around this dip. So right around $50, I think, is where we were bought in at. And as you can see, over the last 3 days, we've been able to capitalize about, wow, 18% profit. I didn't go in super heavy with this. I'll show you on my active trader here. I have about 200 shares, averaged out at about $51. I did buy an additional 50 shares yesterday, but that means we have about $1,500 open. But $1,500 in 3 days, I mean, come on, can't complain about that. So, what am I expecting this stock to do? I am expecting it to do a couple of things. At market open, so once we get right here into this little black area, I'm expecting to see a little bit of consolidation, meaning the stock isn't going to know whether it's going to go up or it's going to go down. I think ultimately we'll continue to follow these upwards trends where we're going to find in SQs this resistance, but in the NASDAQ, in the mini NASDAQ, we'll find that support. I'll jump back in here because I think it might be easier to explain in this. So I'm expecting this to continue to fall and probably test this red line here, where we'll probably have a reversal back up. Now, if we do break through, that's going to mean we're going to make lower lows. The lowest lows we've actually seen in the last half year, well, even longer than that actually, and the NASDAQ. So what am I doing? I'm going to continue to watch my position size, make sure I'm not holding on to anything that is um, that's super contingent on the market. So meaning like TQ. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not holding a heavy position size. Once it drops here, I might buy in and wait until we have wait till we have, I guess, confirmation whether or not we're going to bounce, or if we break through the support, then I'll sell that and get into SQs. But once again, I do have an OCO bracket on SQs. I had my stop loss here, which I'm actually going to move my stop loss up now to 55.66 and continue to ride this. I have my limit order up here at about $60. So we'll be able to capitalize on some of these gains. Either way, if we step out, we're making some money. And if we limit out, we're making good money. So that's kind of my analysis so far on the day. Again, it's a very volatile day just in pre-market. Let's see here. From yesterday's close to this morning, we moved 12%, which is absolutely insane. You don't typically see that type of movement on something like an ETF that's following the market. That means that the market overall has probably dropped, yeah, about 2%. So we'll continue to watch it. Just be careful. Watch your position size. Don't trade any more than you're comfortable trading. But yeah, overall, I think that right there is going to conclude today's little quick technical analysis. Continue to do your part. Be diligent. Watch the markets. Don't get anything that's too heavy where you don't feel comfortable with the trade. Remember, keep all emotions out. Just watch trends, patterns, and rely on your indicators. Anyways, I will see y'all tomorrow. Take care and peace out.